Welcome to the Voice for Dads podcast.
Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode of Voice for Dads. I've got another special guest in the studio with me today, and her name is Marsha from GIMS, which is Justice for Innocent Men Scotland. Hi, Marsha.
Hi. How are you?
Good, thanks. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we've had a quick chat before we started recording, but we purposely left it that we haven't discussed much. You know, we only just met, and we want to just kind of make it a natural conversation, find out about yourself, find out about GIMS, and help spread the word of Justice for Innocent Men Scotland.
Yeah.
So do you want to start off by telling us who you are?
So GIMS has been formed just at the beginning of this year.
Right.
So we're a new organization, but I would say that we're heading in the right direction. And hopefully we'll be able to make some changes in law as we go. But so GIMS was formed. I wasn't there. I'm not one of the founding members.
Mm-hmm.
It was 5 ladies who have met in a Berlin's waiting room. One of them overheard the other 2 speaking, and then someone else joined in, and turns out all their situation was very similar. Their partners, whether it was partners or sons or fathers, didn't get fair trial
Right.
in the Scottish courtrooms. So they've started chatting. They've created this WhatsApp group, and then they got T-shirts with the name, with the
GIMS
logo
on it.
on. Yes, and this is how I realised that I'm not alone as well in this.
So were they wearing the T-shirts when you met them?
They were.
So they were
yes.
in Berlin waiting room
Yes.
with the T-shirts on?
Yes.
And you just started talking to them?
Correct, yes.
Right,
Because obviously what happened to us is exactly very similar to what happened to the other 5 ladies. And I can tell you about all of that later on as we talk.
Yeah.
But I thought this is just us.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'm alone in this horror that the justice system has put us through. My partner is currently in prison, and it has been for over a year now, wrongfully convicted without any evidence apart from a word of 2 women.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's a big story. And
So will we touch on that? Will we touch on your situation just now then? Because you're here and you can talk for what happened to your partner. Tell us what happened to your partner. How did he end up being in jail?
To be honest, we never thought this is going to go this far. We were convinced that the law will protect him because to put anyone in prison, you surely need some evidence of the crime happening, and there was no evidence. There, on the contrary, we had so many information that would prove that he's the actual victim of abuse. Was it coercive control, physical abuse as well?
Right. So were these 2 ladies both ex-partners of his?
One of them was an ex-partner. The other one was just like a fling.
Just like a one-night stand?
Well, more than one night stand, but
Right.
they were friends, and she really wanted to be with him, and they have been like hooking up, I'd say, for a couple months.
Right. And how did it come to be that 2 women come forward to say that this one man raped both of them?
So, so the second woman I've just mentioned, the one that he was just hooking up for 2 months, someone told him who she is and what she's done in the past. And this is when he left her. And by what she done in the past, I mean she falsely accused other men before him.
So she's done this before.
Yes, she's done this before. She turned out to be a total psycho. She would phone his work as well, and make up some false stories about him taking drugs when at work. She even phoned his daughter's school to say that he's taking drugs when he's with his daughter, which is a
Right.
total lie. He doesn't do drugs.
Yeah.
And the school found it to be malicious, so that was completely dismissed. Probably because they know who she already is.
Yeah.
She lost her children were in the same school, even though she told him that her children live in Glasgow. But that's because she didn't want to tell him to start with that she lost custody of her children because of the false claims she made against her ex-husband previously.
Against the children's father.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a
So-
woman that's got issues.
Yeah, well, they both have issues. You
Yeah.
need to have some sort of issues when you do stuff like this, make up stories about other people.
So my question is how do they connect with each other?
So that woman I was just telling you about, when John left her, she said she's going to ruin his life and she's going to go straight back to his actual ex-partner.
Right.
John was freshly after a breakup with that other woman when he met this one. So obviously he told her all about the situation he was in previously, the fact that the other woman was controlling. She stopped him from bringing his daughter home. They lived together.
Right.
So she said there's no room for, I think his daughter was 5. She said that his daughter is a little bitch and she doesn't,
Obviously because it's not her daughter. This is his daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
and she doesn't want to see her in their house. So he had to go and meet up with his daughter at his mom's house because he couldn't bring her into his own, which is just shocking. She was only 5, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to think he didn't tolerate that. He didn't stay with her.
No, but that's
Someone
the
that
thing.
would say that about his daughter.
So she was trying to force him to buy a house together,
Right.
because she wanted a house. He wanted a house as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then the whole situation with the daughter came to light, and he said, "No, that's it. Like, I can't do this."
Yeah.
So he broke up with her. He managed to buy a house for himself and his daughter. And yeah, that other woman, I think it was just probably a jealousy, because she told him, like, if you ever leave me, you either be forever alone or you be in prison. And he left her and he bought himself a house. He was happy,
Yeah.
And then he
So
met me.
we have fling woman, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
We have ex-partner. So fling woman goes to ex-partner,
Yep.
and that's how they meet.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then they both say,
Well, that's another story, because we thought it was the fling woman who started this whole thing about rape. But
Right.
turns out it wasn't. So she obviously, she went to the police saying that John was abusive. He was doing this and that. And I can tell you, he maybe called her some names he shouldn't. But she was appearing at his house unannounced.
sounds like you should have called her the names.
Well, exactly. I would have done the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, she's just a nightmare. The worst thing you can think, like someone's stalking you, harassing. So he blocked her everywhere, all the platforms. She would go on eBay to find him as a seller
Oh my God.
and contact him through eBay.
Because she was blocked everywhere
Yeah.
else. So we've got a crazy ex. Crazy fling. Sorry.
Crazy fling.
Crazy fling.
Yes. And then a narcissistic ex, I'd say, because I think with the second woman, I think she just couldn't handle the fact that he has done so well for him
Right.
after he left her. She was convinced that he's going to be, as she said, either forever alone, alcoholic, or in prison.
Yeah.
To be honest, we don't know what she meant by or in prison, but now we do.
Yeah.
So the fling woman went back to the
Ex-partner.
ex-partner. They have been meeting up for coffees, and then the fling woman, so she's already reported John for being abusive, and that was just as he left her.
Right. Okay.
Even though it was her being removed from his house, by police. It was her appearing at his house. It was him not wanting to have anything to do with her. But this is how the law works. It's always they will always protect the woman, not a man.
Yeah.
So then the ex-partner went to the police. Bear in mind, it was all done like first one went on Monday, the other one went on Tuesday or something like this, pretending they don't know each other.
Yeah.
Right. So then the police came to her house eventually, had a big chat, and so the fling woman said sex with John was always consensual. The ex-partner said that, don't know. She actually done some podcast where we didn't know that. So I'm glad she said it out loud.
Right.
She said that the police officer investigating it, and I must do investigating in quotation marks because that was not an investigation, but that's another subject. So he said, no, that's not rape. But in the same conversation, he was like, maybe. And then at the end of it, he was like, right, okay, we can make it rape if we've got someone else. And this is when he went back to the fling woman 4 times, 4 different occasions.
Right.
So after the 4th visit, she changed her statement from sex with John was always consensual to sex with John was always rape.
Wow.
It's shocking. We do have an open investigation against the police officer.
Yeah. So the police officer investigating that has heard this from the ex-partner and then went to fling woman and
4 times.
And basically wanting her to say the same to then bring a case of rape.
Yeah, because otherwise there was nothing else. There was no proof. There was no bruises, even though the ex-partner said, it was rape since like they were together for 2 months. And she said it was rape since the 2nd month they were together. So if they were together for 2 years, he was raping her every day, right?
So you said 2 months they were together, so it was 2 years
they
they were together?
They were together, sorry,
right,
my
so
fault.
2 years they were together?
They were together
and she's saying
2 years.
it was rape from 2
the
months?
second month, the second month.
They've split up. He's now with fling women. He's now split with fling women. And now she's saying...
And then he met me.
Then he met you, right, okay.
And only then they both remembered...
That it was rape.
Yeah, it was rape. Because we were happy. We met, we just clicked.
Yeah. So how long were you with John before the police came knocking?
Maybe 6 months.
Right, okay.
Maybe we bit less, actually. Yeah. And
was it a case of they showed up and just arrest?
Yeah, they arrested
away?
him. Arrested him straight away. I picked him up from the station the next day. And then I haven't seen the police not until the next, it's taken them, I can't remember, a few months.
Yeah.
To visit me, his current partner, right? I would think if they were to protect women from serial rapists.
Yeah, if you've got a serial rapist out there, surely you would then be someone that they'd be interested in.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for them to come and speak to you? Months. And when they did come, what did they say?
Well, I said to them, that's ridiculous. I don't believe in any of this because I have the backstory that he told me.
Yeah.
And not only him, also his ex-wife. So me and his ex-wife are best friends at the moment.
Right, okay. So
yes,
so there's a 4th woman.
Yes.
That's his ex-wife. And you and her are now friends and both say that this man never raped us.
Yes.
So you've got these 2 women in the middle. Right, okay.
Yeah. That's exactly where we are.
And at court then, so what happened when you go to court? Surely you were questioned? Surely
No.
the ex-wife was questioned?
No? Ex-wife was questioned, yes.
Right.
But so in court, the complainers are allowed to say whatever they want. So the complainers both had 2 full days in court, completely assassinating John's character, saying whatever came to their minds, I guess.
Yeah. I think this was an open court. Were you in court? It was closed?
A closed court when the complainers were in.
Right, okay.
Open court for everything else. So I was there for everything else, not for when they were there. And But obviously, John was there and his whole team was there. There were some lies that were brought to light as well. For example, that ex-partner saying, it was always rape from second month in. And then...
Yeah, she still stayed with them for
Yeah. But then...
nearly 2 years.
We had text messages from her about a year into their relationship where she was forcing him to come and, fuck her in a very graphic way. So then the defense was like, well, how was it rape since...
She's sending messages like that.
Since the second month, if it feels like that it was you telling him what to do, not him. There was not a single message from him saying I'm going to do this to you.
Yeah.
Not a single message through a 2-year relationship where she would say, why did you do this to me?
So that was brought up in court, I'm guessing,
It was.
these messages? Yeah.
It was.
And what actual evidence was there?
There was no evidence.
No evidence?
No. Nothing. Just
them
lies.
saying, yeah.
Just lies. She had one hearsay witness saying that she told him that John was raping her leggings off, ripping her leggings off and raping her brutally, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she never mentioned any of this in court. And surely it should have been mentioned if it was a brutal rape. But she actually said in court it was never brutal. It was just I don't know, maybe she thought she doesn't want to, but she wasn't saying that she doesn't want to.
Yeah. So did his ex-wife give evidence?
She did, yes.
And I take it her evidence was that this never happened to me.
Yeah.
He never done this to me.
Yeah.
So why were you not called?
Not allowed, because
Not allowed?
I've never witnessed any of... so his ex-wife was only called because she knows both women. And she's seen John with them. And that's the only way any witness can appear in court if you directly witness... if you're the defendant witnesses.
Yeah.
Because if you're complainer witnesses, anyone can say anything.
Yeah,
There's no, guidelines.
So you weren't able to be called as a witness?
Mm-mm. No.
And you're his current partner, obviously in a sexual relationship with him, and never took your thoughts, your words into account in any way?
No, not at all.
Forgive me if this is maybe just naivety on my part for watching too much American TV, but I thought there was such a thing as a character witness.
No.
Is that not a thing?
No. Not
I'm
in...
sure it is a thing in court, but maybe not in a...
Not in
trial.
not in SO cases.
Right.
Not in Scotland. I can't speak for England because obviously the laws are different, but you can have character witnesses in sexual offence cases in Scotland.
Jesus.
This is what we're getting at here. Why would you not be called as a witness to say you've been with this man for this long? This hasn't happened.
But even more so, his ex-wife, they were together for 8 years. So I think she's probably the best person to testify that he's a decent man. You'd never do that. She was only allowed to speak about the 2 situations or however many situations. She was with John and these 2 women. So again, she couldn't talk about their relationship.
She couldn't say I've been with him for 8 years and he never raped me.
No.
Wow.
No. It's just everything is set up in a way to get a conviction.
Yeah.
At any cost. They're not looking for truth. They're looking for higher statistics that they're getting.
Well, this is what brings me on to my next question then. So GIMS, from what I've seen online, from what I've read about you are after fair trials.
Yes.
That's just it.
That's just
in
it.
a nutshell.
Yeah.
Fair trials.
Yeah.
Women do get raped.
Of course.
But they should have fair trials for everyone. I was talking to a guy from Falsely Accused Network on Monday. We'd done a podcast and we were talking about, I think it was the Dunblane massacre shooting. Someone heinous like that, and we said, as awful as that is, someone like that is still entitled to a fair trial. That should result in the death penalty, in my opinion, in his case. But still a fair trial.
Yeah.
So that's what you are advocating for, isn't it?
Well, everyone's entitled to a fair trial. Otherwise, we've got witch hunt.
Yeah.
And that's what we're having at the moment. Only it's not directed at women, it's directed at men.
Yeah.
When you can't bring up evidence in court, when you can't say things, very relevant things, it just feels like there's no way out.
Yeah.
Once you're in that dock, once you're in court, and well, this is another thing that we're actually aiming for, is to change public opinion, to make them aware. See, when we went to court, because it is jury who makes the decision, guilty or not.
Yeah.
The trial went really well. There was so many lies uncovered, and, you know, we were 100% sure he's going home. And then when the jury came back, said guilty, we were like, what? How?
Yeah.
Like, how is this possible?
So how many were on the jury?
13.
13.
Yeah.
And was it mixed, male, female?
It was kind of mixed, yeah.
Yeah. And for a jury in that case, does it need to be they all agree he's guilty?
Oh, no, there's a bare minimum. So I think Scotland is the only country in Europe, maybe possibly even in the world, where you just need the bare minimum.
So say 7.
Yeah.
So 7 people could believe he's
8,
guilty.
I think. So it should be.
8.
There should be 15 jury. So,
Right, okay.
So yeah, the split needs to be 8-7, for example. So, but if you were in England at the same time, these people who were convicted by 8-7 split, they'd be going home, because
Yeah.
in England you need at least 10.
To be found guilty.
Yeah.
Right. So when you met these other women in Barlinnie waiting room, are they all the same kind of stories? Is everyone involved in GIMS? Is it men convicted of rape? Is there other crimes?
So men convicted of rape and sexual assault.
Right. And
Yeah.
I take it because it's so hard to prove, so that there will be men that are innocent in jail,
Yeah.
and that's why yous are doing what you're doing. That's why
Yeah.
GIMS exists.
And we're not fighting to get them released. I mean, obviously, that is the ultimate goal. I
Yeah.
do want my innocent partner home, but we want them to get fair retrials
Yeah.
where both sides are, both sides of the evidence is mentioned, not just prosecution, but, you know, things like this. For example, like in our situation where that one of the women took so many other men to court. She's got restraining orders against people. Apart from these 2 men, you know, that she already took to court, we got so many messages from different people saying that she's this, she's that, she's harassed someone for 15 years here.
Yeah.
You know,
So you have
That
so you have
paints a
women,
picture.
yes, of that, a person that can
Yeah.
do that. Yeah. I mean, how unlucky do they need to be for every partner they meet
yeah.
to sexually assault them, rape
Yeah.
them, or
Well,
harass them?
that's another
You know,
thing.
and then what point do you turn it and go, no, I think we can see where the problem lies here?
So this, exactly what you just said, that was brought up to, not by me, but by my mother-in-law, to the police officer investigating. Like,
Right.
you sure, she asked them, like, you sure you must be aware of all these other men she took to court? And the police said, oh, but these women, they just get themselves into these kind of relationships all the time. So
No, I don't believe that's always the case.
of course not.
No.
Of course not. At some point, and to be honest, all the 2 previous cases, 2 previous men that she took to court, she lost them both. So that, you know, John was a third one for her, a third time lucky, turns out.
And she had someone else saying the same
But
thing.
she had someone else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is why, in a sense, they get found guilty.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So going back to John's trial, the trial went really well for us. At least that's what we
That's
thought.
what you thought, yeah.
And then when the jury came back with guilty, we were just so shocked. Everyone was, even the judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the judge didn't say a single bad word about John when he was given his sentence. Do you know, like sometimes you get all these sentencing statements when the judge says, oh, you've done this, you've been found guilty,
Yeah.
you're a horrible person. None of that.
So you believe the judge was just doing his job? and he was in that situation. The
Yeah.
jury had found him guilty, and he
Yeah.
had to sentence him.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And so then this takes us back to the jury. Why would they do that? I mean,
Yeah.
there was a woman there who was just evil-eyeing John from day one.
Yeah,
Like, and I think her mind was, no matter what she would hear, she was just, he's guilty.
yeah,
So we're trying to change that perception for people, normal, common people like us who do sit on jury when they're called, that they need to know that there are all these like backstories that men are unable to bring to court.
yeah,
Because I think people think when men go to court, it's up to their lawyers to present all the evidence they can. Well, unfortunately, it's not. The lawyers are being very often they don't even try because they know that this is going to be refused.
yeah. And in John's case, what did his lawyer believe?
What do you mean?
Like
If he
when
was-
when you were going through the trial, did they think, there's a good chance this is going to be a not guilty, a
Yeah.
guilty?
Yeah,
Yes. So
yeah.
even his lawyer believed that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We were all, obviously you'd never know. And the lawyers were always saying, these are, a bunch of people are going to decide.
Yeah,
So we don't know what they're going to decide. And I'm glad they said that because, in our minds, he was going home.
yeah,
And the lawyers were very surprised as well. And as I said, the judge was surprised. And I think that speaks a volume.
absolutely fascinating. And what about the women that cry rape, right? And there's a lot of them. You see it in the news, but there never seems to be any repercussions. So it's like, yes, this woman 3 times it's happened to her. So she's either someone who's maybe not always believable, or she's just very unlucky in life, But there seems to be no repercussions for these women that cry rape and are proven to have lied. It's like, oh well.
There's none, very,
lied.
very rarely, because they say that they don't want to discourage genuine victims
Yeah,
coming
genuine victims,
forward,
yeah.
which I understand, because like in 70s, 80s, the world was different, and it was difficult to be a woman, I guess, in general.
Yeah,
But we don't live in 80s or even 90s anymore. The world has evolved, changed. Like, I feel like we women feminists got their equality long time ago. I've never felt that I was in any way disadvantaged because I'm a woman.
yeah,
But yet they're trying to portray women in this like constant state of victimhood. And as soon as a woman comes forward with an allegation, we should believe her because she must be saying truth. Like, it's like they've forgotten the women can lie too,
yeah,
manipulate.
Yeah, they do, and it's really refreshing to hear you say
Yeah.
that. So as sitting here as a woman today saying this, it's refreshing to hear because women do lie.
They do, but that's just in human nature. I think, like, obviously there is a lot of bad men out there as well,
Absolutely.
but there are bad women too, and it feels like the law and people in charge are trying to tell us, no, women are always good.
Yeah,
I've met so many awful women in my life.
yeah,
And these, for example, the 2 that went after John, so one of them, she actually made me speak up about all this because we kept it quiet. We didn't want people to know what's happening to him
after he was convicted.
before, throughout.
right, okay.
Yes.
Right.
Obviously, our family, friends knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knew that, and his workplace knew. No one turned their backs on John as well. So he's not lost his job. He's not lost any of his friends because they all know
Yeah,
what kind of person he is. And so once he was convicted, that wasn't enough for her, and she went after me. So she started messaging my friends, my like followers on Instagram and Facebook, sending them information about John, me, creating all these fake profiles, adding like some very nasty comments to my photos or our photos.
Not really
Why?
the behaviour of a genuine victim.
Yes. Why?
Yeah.
Why would she do that? Like, I've never said anything about her to anyone.
Yeah.
And this just, she made me. She's the reason I'm here today.
Yeah.
The way she went for me. And that was just the final proof of what was done to John.
Just as you say that, it makes you think, was she a victim? Absolutely not. I don't
Absolutely
believe she
not.
was. I
mean,
think she's an evil person. And by doing that at the end, it kind of shows that everything she's said so far needs to be questioned.
Wouldn't she, if she would reach out to me, let's say after he was found guilty, maybe ask me how I am I okay? You know, I don't know. If he was raping you too, there's help. I can help you, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was
But
none of that.
Yeah.
No, there was just
Sounds like
viciousness.
and you would do that if you knew all along that you weren't telling the truth,
Yeah,
aren't you?
100%.
So I'm going to tell you a quick story that relates to how men being found guilty in this country isn't right. The procedure isn't right. We haven't nailed it. So we were talking at a Voice for Dads meeting last night, and I can't remember why this conversation came up, but I'll just summarise it 'cause it wasn't from me. So there was a man who was charged with, charged with rape, and it was a woman he met on a night out, and there was 2 accounts of rape that night. One was in the club, and one was at home. So the one in the club, they managed to get CCTV that showed that it clearly wasn't rape and it was consensual. But instead of saying, well, that kind of shows that this woman, you know, is lying, because she's lying about this first rape in the club, so we know she's lying. But instead of discouraging and just throwing out and going, right, this is not to be entertained in any way, thrown out. They just dropped the club rape and went with the rape at home, which there was no evidence of. So then this guy gets taken to court, but then because they'd dropped the first rape in the club, they couldn't use that in court as evidence. So they couldn't bring up saying that this woman's lied about a rape, alleged rape, a couple of hours, if that, beforehand. But you couldn't even bring that up in court, and that's what you're saying about evidence. The amount of the pieces of evidence that you can't bring in is so wrong.
It is so wrong. I'm very familiar with this case that you've just described, and the jury didn't even know that they were in a pub.
Yeah, so the jury, so you know about this case, so the jury didn't know that this alleged, because if the jury knew that, if the jury had all the facts, they would go, well, we know this woman's a liar, because she lied about a rape that happened just before they headed up the road.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. So it is. So we've covered your case and how you got into...
One, Scott, can I just fling in some context quickly for talking about character witnesses and stuff?
Yep.
Just been trying to look into that. And so I'm just going to read an excerpt just straight from Google AI that just kind of clarifies it. So, yes, the defence can call a character witness in a Scottish sexual assault case, but they must first make a formal application to the court, as the law restricts the use of such evidence to ensure the dignity of the complainer and prevent prejudice. The application must meet strict legal conditions with the sexual offences, and it's going to tell you the Act, and its subsequent case law governing the process for adducing character evidence. So basically, it is possible, but unlikely, because you need to go through a whole process, and the court will ultimately decide if they're going to allow it case by case.
Yeah, it's probably the same situation as with all these other story side of evidence, that they say that section 274, 275 was brought in to stop defense asking about women's sexual past. But in reality, it stops the defense asking about any of the women's past, not even related to sexual history.
So then, in, say, this case, they wouldn't be able to say you've accused several men beforehand. It could have been 20 men beforehand, you know, and you couldn't bring that up.
And that's the thing. So the defense could still ask for it to be heard in court, but it's just going to be refused. Probably the same way as the character witnesses work, because I was like all in to be a witness for John, but the defense lawyer said it's not possible.
So it just shows then that it's not fair trials. It's just not fair trials at all. Because even if you're a victim, you should still want the other, the person that you're saying abused you to receive a fair trial.
Of course.
Which would then, if you are a victim, would result in a conviction.
And in a way that it's working right now, like I don't believe anything anymore. If I read something in a paper and there's so much of it, another rapist jailed, another, men abused 3 women, every day something. But I read all this, and let's say 3 years ago, I would read it and I would think, oh my God, what a horrible world we live in. Like all these horrible men. And now I read it and I'm like, well, did he?
Yeah, there's a high chance he's innocent.
Yeah.
Doing Voice for Dads, that's my take on it now. And I suppose it's not a great
It's
way
not.
to think. It's really not. It's kind of damaged. I feel like it makes you question everything and kind of not believe anything. Which isn't great.
It isn't great, and I don't want to be like this because I know there are genuine victims out there.
Yeah.
Like I was one years ago as well, so I know. But because the way the justice system works at the time, we no longer know who's the actual victim, who's the actual beast. They're all just clumping together. So if a woman says she's a victim, we must believe her. And if a woman says that guy is a beast, we also must believe her.
Yeah.
But where's the truth? We don't know.
Yeah. So we've covered your personal story. On to GIMS then. What is GIMS doing to try and bring about change?
Well, we're gaining traction. So we've got, apart from Thomas Ross, Casey, that as you've probably seen on our various channels, he's probably the most prominent legal professional that is speaking against the current system and in defense of fair trials and basic human rights. But apart from Thomas, we've got many others. So there are, I can't say names because it's a controversial topic. So I understand why a lot of them like to be not maybe fully public about their support.
You've got legal people then involved.
We've got legal people involved. We've got very big legal firms involved.
Right.
We've also got, we're getting some support from the government.
Right.
But that's still, we're keeping it quiet, so I can't say much more. But these are the people who have been watching justice system evolve to what it is right now for years.
Yeah.
And they know this is wrong. They know, like, the way it is right now, it's breaking basic human laws for men. And that's why we've actually been told by one of the legal professionals that he's quite surprised why it took people so long to get together and start fighting this. Like, they've waited for us, for a group like ours, for years.
Right.
Because they've been saying this for years as well, but it's kind of being pushed back. The agenda is, feminist agendas, and that's what SNP government is going with. And anyone against that is just being pushed back. But if anyone can change it, it's people like us.
It's people, yeah. But I think that what makes you guys different is that you're women.
Yeah.
That's why people are listening.
Yes.
So as if you were all men,
I know.
No one would be taking any notice.
I know. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in at the moment. Women's word is a gospel, and man is just left forgotten. And I've got 2 sons. Right. 2 boys. I don't want them to live in a world like this where they somehow a lesser person than
Yeah.
a girl or
Yeah.
a woman is. I think it's just shocking. And
So you'll be scared for them growing up,
Yeah.
thinking, would
Yes.
they end up in this situation?
Yes, I already am. My older one, he's 12, and his first ever girlfriend, that was like a couple of years ago. She wanted to be with him, but obviously, they were kids.
Yeah.
So we weren't even doing any of girlfriend-boyfriend things. But so she then decided she doesn't want to be with him anymore. And he was like, okay. And then she wasn't happy about him being fine with it. So she went behind his back and tried to tell all his friends that he's talking shit about them. And this is like 11-year-old
I was
child.
about to say, and their kids.
Yes. So if this is how we start,
Yeah.
and it is being
If they're
accepted
doing that at that age.
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm petrified for him because
That's worrying.
it is.
That is worrying.
Yeah. And it's just so easy. Like we've got in GIMS, our some of our members, we've got mothers of very young boys who had their first sexual encounters, and then the girl changed her mind because she was ashamed. Parents maybe find out, or maybe she had another boyfriend, and said that he's sexually assaulted her, and this is it. The
That's
boy's branded a rapist.
For the rest of his life.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually know someone who was in this situation. Her brother was falsely accused when he was a teenage boy. He was then cleared. That was many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was then cleared of all charges, but that was him. That label of a rapist.
And that's
stuck.
him for the rest of his life.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
You
he-
hear it with famous footballers a lot, don't you? There'll be girls throwing themselves at footballers. And then even when they get cleared,
That's it.
they'll be playing a match and then the full stadium's chanting that they're rapists and stuff,
Yeah.
It sticks.
So I'll finish the story about this guy. So he became a recluse, like didn't socialize
Was it
with
the
people.
Teenage
Yes.
boy, right? Uh-huh.
Yes, and then he turned to drugs, and eventually he took his life. And the whole thing, the decline started when he was falsely accused, and fair enough, he didn't go to prison. Probably if this was today, he would have.
They would have, yeah.
But that was a few years ago. But because he was branded that horrible beast,
Yeah.
his life just spiraled down, and he didn't see a way out of it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
And things like this happen all the time. And I'm so glad that's why what you're doing, guys, that's so important.
Well, I think with Voice for Dads, there actually is. I think there's one guy that I've spoken to actually that it was rape was involved, an accusation of rape, but it's always domestic abuse, in our situation, because that's what you need to bring up at court, so that then you can hold that against them, and it all adds to removing the kids from the dad's life. That's just kind of standard practice, so it is, unfortunately, and I've yet to see a time where I actually believe it's true. That these women are getting beat up. It's all, it just happens to be when the dad moves on, gets a new partner, and then all of a sudden these accusations come out, or he wants to leave, and accusations come out. I myself, I can't go into great detail, but I was found guilty of domestic assault. But then on the back of getting found guilty, I didn't expect to then get evidence that proves I'm innocent. So when I got that evidence, I remember breaking down and thinking, thank God, I've got this and I can show. But now I've got to clear my name, and it's going to take years. We've already been through the appeals process in Edinburgh before I got this evidence, but now I've got this. I know that I'll clear my name, but most importantly, I can show that to my daughter. And be like, look, this your daddy never done what you're getting told he did. It's just not true. But when I get found guilty, I'll never forget it. I had a High Court advocate representing me, and we were the same. Thought absolutely not. There's no evidence here. There's nothing. I'm getting charged with pushing someone off me and using too much force. And then I get found guilty, and he came out and was kind of like, sorry, Scott, try my best. And then he said, count yourself lucky, because you could have been at the High Court in Glasgow as on a rape charge. Because that's all they had to say is just he raped you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But the lawyers, so this is the best example.
Yeah.
And the lawyers know.
Yeah.
That's how easy
he said
it
he's
is.
there every week.
Point a finger and that's it. And last year they made it even easier, because before women, if there was no evidence, no proof whatsoever apart from her word, they needed another woman to corroborate.
So this was a Lord Advocate that brought this in.
So now, but yeah, exactly. You don't really need this anymore. It can be just a singular complainer. If she told someone else,
and they see her visibly upset.
I don't think they even
not
need
even
to.
that anymore.
No,
they need to see them visibly
not even
upset.
that.
There's something else that the Lord Advocate brought in. 'Cause an MSP told me about it, and I thought we're actually taking a step backwards here. We're going backwards.
Yeah, we
and
are.
It's making it even easier.
It's the Dark Ages again, but this time it's men, not women, and this is, I've recorded this little video yesterday about this, because as I was thinking about this, I realized, so going back to the witch trials, right? It was most of it, as far as I read about it, would be like jealous women accusing other women because they didn't like something about them. And obviously it was women who were being scapegoated as those witches. But let's say 50% of the accusations were done by other women. So now when we think about witch trials, we just think about all these poor women being killed, burned, drowned, whatever was done to them, right? But we're forgetting about this, like 50% of these women, let's say, died because of other women. So at the same time as they were the victims, they were also the oppressors.
Yeah, so going back hundreds of years, you just start chanting witch,
Yeah,
and then it catches
and that's
on.
it.
Yeah,
And this is exactly what we've got. We've got the same type of women now chanting rapist,
yeah.
and it sticks.
Yeah.
And that's all it's needed, just to say, yeah, he's done it. And that's it.
Yeah.
Life ruined.
So doing what you're doing what GIMS is doing, you're going to get a bit of heat.
Oh, yeah.
What can you say about that?
Yes. Oh, we got... Sorry, I'm just going to have a wee drink.
Because I've seen some things on social media.
Yes, we've been getting heat since day one. I'm past it, to be honest. As I said, what John's false accuser done to me when he was first convicted, that kind of opened me up. So I don't really care. I know I'm on the right side of the history here.
Yeah.
So we have been getting heat from all these like vigilante groups to start with. Yes, my face was posted as well on some of these their pages.
Are these other women?
No, these are just people. I don't have them in high regard anymore. I used to thought maybe these vigilante groups are not even vigilante groups, because this is a bad way of putting it, because there are some groups out there that are actually doing the right thing. They're baiting pedophiles and then they bring them to justice, and that's great.
Yeah.
But there's also that one particular page that just posts anyone. And my face was posted there as well several times. Right. Even though I'm not a rapist or a beast, I haven't done anything. So, starting with that.
What were you getting heat for? Sticking up for your partner?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and other than that, yes, we had just recently this like a popular influencer, TikToker, who completely misrepresented what we stand for. We did mention her name once,
And what was the context of mentioning
I
her
still
name?
stand
Why
by
did you
it.
mention her name?
It was in the context of glorified victimhood.
Right.
And how all of a sudden being a victim is a good thing and people are making money on it and other women want to be victims too.
Yeah.
And this is where we are. All it takes is a false accusation and all of a sudden you can be a victim too,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And yes, we have mentioned, because she's a public figure, her name was mentioned. And then, yes, she's made this whole big fuss saying that we've got a whole section of our website about her, that we're harassing her, we're harassing other victims, sending some messages to people, not sure what else. Like, all of this is a lie.
I was going to say, is there any proof of any of that?
No, we've asked every single person, because then she sent all her followers to harass us.
Right.
So I've received death threats. I've received horrible,
So you
rape
get
wishes from women.
Rape wishes
Oh yeah,
on you? Right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Irony there. So you get the keyboard warriors out after you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most of them are Americans for some reason. Don't
Are
know.
they?
Yes, which is,
Right.
it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm doing is
I
right.
wouldn't be listening to anyone online, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would definitely know the Yanks.
Yeah, I
if
know.
they're-
I know.
So let's use this one in particular, because that's the one I seen on TikTok, and go with facts, right? Because the voice of dads, we are all about facts. There is a man in jail of rape on this person, so that's a fact. But what you're advocating for is just a fair trial. So is that man in jail after a fair trial? And I think that's something that no one should really disagree with, because you're saying, we'll make it fair. Don't go into jail and say, no, we can't talk about this, can't talk about that. You can't bring up if a woman's accused several men beforehand. You can't bring up other witnesses, but it's okay for the other side to bring up witnesses. All you're saying is make it fair.
Correct.
And
That's all we want.
No one should disagree with that.
Exactly.
And I would like to sit down with someone that did and explain why, because everyone is entitled to a fair trial.
Correct.
Terrorists are entitled to fair trials, because that would result in the right outcome.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand. I mean, I know why some people are against us, because they were fed facts that are not facts, lies, sorry, and they don't know what we do. But if they would do their research, we're not asking for rapists to be released. We're not asking for, empty the prisons. They're all innocent. We never said that.
Yeah.
Some of them, maybe even majority, are guilty and they are where they should be.
Yeah.
But even if it is just a minority, like, let's say, I've actually done this report where I interviewed 84 people,
Right.
either prisoners themselves. I had this big survey out, so they would reply to it. So either prisoners themselves or their families. So let's say this is only the 84 people who are fighting for a fair trial. So none of them, including myself, we don't just want them being released. Because that would be too easy, and this wouldn't look good on us as well. So
this is 84 people convicted of rape, you're saying? Right, okay.
Who are wanting another chance for a retrial where they can present their own evidence as well. I mean, there's one story there, for example, I could tell you so many stories, but let's say this one. So a man was accused of rape on, let's say it was February, 2nd of February 2022. Okay, it's a made up date, just for the sake of it. And then he wasn't in the country, so he had a stamped passport. He was away somewhere in a different part of the world.
So he could prove that he wasn't here, right?
So then the prosecution decided to take that date away. And they just accusing him, that date was irrelevant, and they changed it to an open date, that it was sometime in 2022.
Wow.
So, just to clarify that, the prosecution knew he was out of the country, knowingly changed the particulars of the case
Yep.
in order to fit their narrative
Yes.
and allow them to pursue the conviction.
Yes.
And did they get convicted?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in prison.
That is ridiculous.
That's very similar to the situation you were talking about, where the 2 rapes in a pub and the house.
Uh-huh.
So that's prosecution again.
Yeah.
They dropped the first charge.
Just doing whatever they can do
Yeah.
to then get a conviction.
Yeah,
Absolutely shocking. Disgusting.
it is.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
So what's next for GIMS? What have you got planned?
I think the next big thing is the protest.
Protest
And
in Holyrood.
Yes. I invite you to join us.
9th of September.
Yes,
Is that right?
it's an International Falsely Accused Day, as I'm sure
Yep.
you've heard before. So we are expecting a counter protest as well,
Right.
which is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, we're planning going, so we are, and coming along, doing
Perfect.
some interviews and stuff. But also interview the other side. You know,
Yeah.
let's hear.
Yeah.
If you're there to counter protest, what is it you're counter protesting against? Do you know? You know, do they even know?
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, I can tell you what they'll say. They'll say we're harassing victims. So could you please ask for proof?
Yeah. Just give us one bit of proof.
Because unfortunately, it worked in court, right? Where they said, some of them, I'm not saying, I don't know who these people are. I don't know if they're the false accusers or they've just been missold some, lies to
Yeah.
follow these other people. But if a false accuser in court says, oh, he done this, they don't need proof to prove it, right? But this is in court. And it shouldn't work in real life. It shouldn't work in court either. But if someone's accusing me of something, I want to see the proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
and I think
Well-
that's what they're forgetting, that we are going to ask for proof.
That's it there. 9th of September, Scottish Parliament Building, 11 to 2. What day is that? What day is this? The
Tuesday.
9th? Tuesday. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Perfect.
Looking forward
Hopefully.
to it.
So this is our second protest.
Right.
The first one was a great success. This one, I hope, is going to be even bigger. And because, see, the first one, we've informed the press. There was BBC there with their cameras. There were guys, independent media, as you've probably seen.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful to everyone who did cover it on their channels. But there was no mention in any of the actual TV channels, even though the BBC had their cameras there.
But it never appeared.
No. Nowhere. Not a single word mentioned. But because we were getting this counter-protest, I'm hoping this will provide us with media coverage.
Right, okay, that'll be interesting to see then.
I mean, I'm expecting it to be twisted, just as they twist in everything else. But nevertheless, it's fine.
Yeah.
As long as we're talking about this, as long as they know how many of us is out there.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will allow more people to learn that they're not alone if it happened to them as well.
So have you got a way that people can contact GIMS?
Yes, so we're all on all social media
Right.
platforms. We've got a website as well. There's
What's the website?
GIMS,
GIMS.
GIMSscotland.org.
GIMSscotland.org.
Yeah.
Right, okay. That is there. Oh, so you've got a contact us bit on the website, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
And
even
then
a
I take it
WhatsApp
that could be men who have been falsely accused of rape could contact, or of anything, I suppose, falsely accused of anything could contact you guys. But then also people like yourself, partners, family of men who are in jail.
Yeah. So we started off with our main focus is on wrongful convictions.
Right.
So that is the men who are currently incarcerated, and they can't speak for themselves. So this would be their families. But we've recently branched out and got another private group for men currently going through false accusations before the trials.
Right, okay.
Which I think there's no such group in Scotland. There is a big group in England, but the laws are different. And I was part of that big group. I still am. I still donate money to them.
And what's the group called?
Accused.me.
Accused.me. Right.
Yeah, they've got a very big, apart from the Accused network.
Yeah.
So they're part of it as well. But
Right,
Accused
okay.
Me has got a very big support group. And they were very helpful to me once John was taken away, until I realized that the laws are different from, what they were saying. He should have been home.
So is it a case that the laws in England are ahead of the laws in Scotland? Are they fairer in Scotland or England, do you think?
So Scotland usually is proud to be the first one with the pioneer of
Tend to be progressive in Scotland.
Usually Scotland likes to be ahead.
Aye,
Yeah.
So I think England is striving to catch up on this, because I think as far as I've seen, they're trying to introduce something very similar to our section 274, 275, where a woman can be questioned pretty much on anything. At the moment they can. So as we've already discussed, their jury split is different as well. So a lot of men would have been free if their cases were in England, not in Scotland.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's why we've set up this one, this separate page where people go in currently through, so they can prepare themselves for the Scottish reality, rather than in English.
And that's good. That's a good thing. So it is, men who are going through it as opposed to being convicted. So I have no doubt that men in jail will be able to see, obviously, what's going on. They'll be able to see the work that you're doing. I'm sure John, your partner, will know the work you're doing. How often do you speak to him?
Every day.
Every day? Yeah.
Yeah. Every day. He's doing well, considering.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, he's worried about me as well, because I'm putting myself out there, and that's not what he wants. He doesn't want me to be a target. But
has he told you not to do this? Has he said, I don't think you should? Has he?
Well, he's worried that I'm going to be targeted. But it's already happened.
Yeah.
It's already happened, and it needs done, because this is the biggest problem, why it's taken so long for a group like us to be formed. There's a huge stigma. As soon as you're branded a beast, you don't want people to know, so you're just going to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
You don't want neighbors. If your face wasn't in a paper, you're going to try to avoid anyone finding out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I've been told that, I'm a beast protector, that, I don't know, maybe that I like being raped as well, things like this. And my main concern is my children. So I don't want them to be in any way targeted. But at the same time, every person I have ever spoken to about this, and I am not shy anymore about speaking.
It seems
they all
like you get thick
understand?
skin. It seems like you get thick skin, though.
I do.
I don't think you're going to be offended or affected by keyboard warriors. And
I mean, it was a bit scary, when one morning I woke up and I had 100 messages calling me this, that, what they're going to do to me.
Was that on the GIMS page? Or was that
So
to you
some of
directly?
it was the TikToker that I was earlier talking about. She posted my private profiles on her profile pages.
Surely she knew what was going to happen on the back of doing that.
Oh yeah, of course she knew. Of course she knew. And my private profiles had nothing about GIMS. Nothing was connected, because I tried to keep it separate. Not anymore. I've actually closed down all my profiles that are private.
Right.
Yeah, it is what it is. But it needs done. It needs done.
I believe 100% with you that men, anyone should have a fair trial. I completely believe that.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating, and very interesting. We always talk at Voice for Dads about the family courts. So we're doing, and how broken that is, and how much it needs an overhaul, and it's just crazy the family courts. I don't know if you've been through them, but it's bonkers.
No.
But this side of the criminal court when it comes to rape and sexual assault is it definitely doesn't appear to be fair, you know, and everyone should want a fair court, because anyone might find herself in it. So why would you not want a fair court? Why would you not want a fair trial?
Exactly. And people don't realize that this can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
You know, your dad, you know, all of a sudden some woman that you have no clue that she exists, you don't know who she is, but she remembers your dad in like 70s apparently did something to her, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
she gets money for it, because that's another thing.
They
There's
get money.
compensation.
Oh, right, okay.
And to get a compensation, a woman, a complainer, usually a woman, does not need anything else apart from police report number.
To get compensation. Do you know if the woman, in your case, got compensation?
So the unfortunately, you're not able to find out. There's
Right.
no way. We've tried, but there's no way. Like, the records are not public, and there's no way to find out. But I would think so. One of them, as soon as the whole thing started, all of a sudden appeared with boobs triple in size. So
Wow.
we think it's her compensation boobs. But that is just my speculation.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Definitely puts a new light on it, doesn't it, to genuine victims coming forward. And what would their motive be if
So
you're not a genuine victim?
We've spoke before about incentives, you know, like changing laws, changing legislation to try and create an incentive to not come up with false accusations. It seems like in these situations, the laws went, you know, the government's went out its way to enact legislation that actually incentivise false accusations.
it does. There's like, you know, once you start looking for it on social media, like unfortunately, I get these ads coming up on my phone all the time, just saying, oh, have you been raped? Have you been abused? Give us a call. We can get you from 10K to 500.
Jesus.
Wow.
500 is probably a stretch. I don't think anyone gets that unless, I don't know, I've never heard of anyone.
Yeah.
But there are people getting, like, I think 11K is a standard.
Wow.
But then this is just for the sexual part of thing. But if you say you've also had some mental problems because of it, let's say you lost of earnings as well because you didn't go to work, yeah, it can go up to like 50, 60K.
Good God.
That is,
Very
I
scary.
didn't even consider that until you said that there.
Yeah,
That's so interesting.
very
and just
scary.
as you say, you know, it can incentivize.
Yeah.
That's
And one of the John's false accusers, so she was bragging before that her sister also got a compensation for a rape, which back then John thought that she was genuinely must have been raped.
right.
But then
So
obviously,
this was before him.
yeah.
hmm
But then obviously as the time passed, you know, I've actually realized, I clicked on it like, well, did she? Because she was bragging she refurbished her mom kitchen with all the money, and she went on holidays, something like that. Who does that?
Wow.
Like, what kind of mindset?
A very unlucky set of sisters, isn't it?
I know.
So it is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. So that makes me think. So that woman who accused John and who accused two other men to court, she's probably got money for that as well.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though she didn't win the other two cases, because there's no requirement of a man being found guilty for her to get money. They get money way before the trial even
Do they?
starts.
Just as soon as they put their hands
Yeah.
up then.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was this big case in Australia. Australia is another one of countries, very progressive countries like Scotland. where everything seems to be going in favor for the women. And their laws were very similar to what we've got here now. And they had this big, like, criminal activity, like a mafia type of thing, abusing these schemes. So they were putting people up, saying that, oh, you need to go and tell that you were abused as a kid or raped here, whatever other scenarios they were coming through with. And so there was like an organized scheme to get these people to say that they were abused. So then the mafia was getting money for it.
Wow.
And
that was in Australia.
Yeah, there's you can read up on it because the bosses were eventually caught.
Yeah.
And they probably in prisons. But that just shows you how easy it is. If you can just get yourself, a bunch of minions to go and say that you were abused, and that's how you make money.
Yeah. Wow. I want one last question. I wanted to ask you, what's your view on feminism?
So I used to consider myself a feminist because I always thought that we're all equal. And me being a woman should not be in any way of me progressing in life. And I still stand by it, but I'm definitely not a feminist anymore. I think the feminist I'm talking about, and I'm thinking that's the right feminism, and everyone would agree, that was the first wave of feminism, which was in the 80s, and all of this has been achieved.
Would you say it's went too far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Far, like way too far. I've attended a lecture last week at the Festival of Politics. The lecture was called The Rise of Misogyny. It was led by 4 women. You can tell raging feminists, and it was just awful. I actually left halfway. I couldn't.
Raging feminists.
Yeah. They were branding men and adolescent boys being misogynist because they laugh at the jokes that they didn't like.
Yeah.
There was actually a little girl that stood up and said that she feels like all these boys in her school that are now laughing at the jokes that she doesn't find funny, they will be hurting women once they grow up. And I thought someone's going to say, you can't say a man is going to be hurting women because he laughs at wrong jokes or the jokes that you don't.
Did nobody?
No, they actually they agreed.
Her.
Yes, they agreed. And this is like the third wave feminism that we're in just now. And it has nothing to do with equality. It's about hating men. It's about taking control. And ruling. I think that's what they want to do. There's more to it. It's all connected as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but all of these things are connected.
It's just fascinating hearing it coming from you. Like I say, because if you were a man, then it would be just totally different. And I completely agree with you.
Well, I have been branded misogynist as well.
Have you?
Yes. Yes. That's because I don't disagree with any sort of hate. And that's how it feels like, that we're now being told that we should hate men because they are out to get us. That every man has got an agenda and the women are in permanent state of victimhood. And we were better off them.
Yeah. Well, fascinating interview. I'm so glad you came down, and I just look forward to working more with you, like Voice for Dads, GIMS, working together, and just helping bring about change, give people a voice, anything we can. We kind of all want the same thing when it comes to. Well, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want a fair trial, regardless of the circumstance. So I'm completely with you on that. There is no doubt that this victim mentality is worse now than it's ever been. But it's peaked. Let's just hope it starts to drop. I don't know. It may just keep going up. This is worldwide. You know, the thing that came to mind there is just South Park, the recent South Park episode where they're just taking the mick out of victims, and it's a Harry and Meghan one, and you know, we want our privacy, and then it's like how to your personality is, and they would have all the different points, and it always had to end in victim. Remember, you're a victim. But yeah, absolutely fascinating. So we will be at the protest. We'll come along. Our plan is to document it. Both sides. It's not to do with parental alienation as such. But we are coming along to show support and help document it. So we'll be there on the 9th.
That's fantastic. I'm very, very glad to hear that. And as you said, it's not exactly to do with parental alienation, although a lot of it is. And a lot of these men that we are fighting for are where they are because of their custody battles that they were winning. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, so it is connected in a way.
It is connected.
It is connected. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Marsha. It was absolutely great to talk to you. Michael, thank you for your input. I thought that was a really good conversation. And because it's not just yourself and GIMS, we're going to get more women down. Yeah. So that's great. And I am looking forward to... Sorry, that would be my alarm. It's good timing though. Yes. But yeah, anyone's welcome on. You know, anything we can do to give you a voice, give you a platform, and just help get the message out there. Yeah, I would love to bring some of the ladies that can align, what their stories align exactly with what you're doing here. And I think that's is important for us to work together, as you say. And anyone who's against fair trials, there must be something wrong with them. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I just don't see this ending for you, even once your partner comes out, because you have kids, you know, so this passion, this drive you've got will just carry on. And it needs to. It needs to. So... Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this episode, please send it to your friends. Please hit the like and subscribe button at the bottom. And most of all, please have a fantastic day. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.